Good evening.
Hello. I forgot to click comments. There we go. I was trying to hurry up and get it shared out too and didn't do it.
Yeah, sometimes it's not the easiest thing in the world.
No, no.
But now that I've got this nice little system thing here all set up, it makes it so much easier.
I don't think I have one of those, but
Uh, well, I have noticed that um, it's going live quicker because before, when we first started on this platform, it would take about a minute before it would go live, and now it's happening almost instantaneously.
okay.
Oh, oh, look who decided to join us.
Are we alive and well and doing good? Is that
Well,
right?
I, I think we're deaf.
Hmm.
God damn it, Jeremy.
Of course, you know it was me.
Yeah, yeah.
To be
Well, I figured
fair,
you like mute, so.
yeah, to be fair, we did talk about this ahead of time, and we agreed.
And I was searching for the button too.
I'm surprised you didn't show the comments say that I was mute.
But we didn't have time.
I could only click on one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Well, what's up, Kate?
um, oh, I'll be right back.
Already? I just got here.
Oh my. Okay. I have the city scanner on my phone where it doesn't, talk, it transcribes it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
right now, we have a male reportedly undressing near Walmart parking lot.
What?
Welcome to Greeley.
you know,
No, thank you.
Kate, what the fuck? What the fuck? I'm here. You understand that, right?
I don't even know what she's talking about right now.
No, her first comment.
So I
Oh,
got
the most
I got a
interesting
little
boy
show
in the world.
to tell for you guys.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, this is something I've been wanting to try for a little while, um, and finally got around to getting it a couple days ago. It's called Liquid Death.
Liquid death.
What do
Yeah,
you mean you just got around? There's three bottles of that or three cans of that here
do you?
somewhere. I got them in New Mexico and gave them to Zach.
So they have two different kinds. They have a water brand and a tea brand. And I
Water. We have.
yeah.
Roberts.
So the thing with the water brand is that they sell them in packs of six, and I only wanted to get one just to try it out to see if I like it.
Yeah.
Tea brand, they do sell them individually, so I don't get it.
We were selling them individually, it like in the soda cans in the like gas stations. They have them all single file. That's the way they were selling them when I got them.
I never even thought to go to a gas station to look to see if they have it. It's just what I got at Walmart.
I wouldn't
I
be
haven't
surprised.
seen them in a gas station in
I
a
was going to say I
long
wouldn't
time.
be surprised if they have them at a gas station. So yeah.
Where
Yeah,
is
so
it?
so I finally decided to try it out, and it's not bad. There's
You
not
like it?
well, there's nothing that really stands out about it.
Except it tastes like metal.
Here
Uh,
you go, Jeremy. What Kate just said. Jeremy drinks liquid death because he's immortal.
I wish. Yeah, I'm not really tasting any metal in them.
I taste the can. That's ugh. No.
But the thing that got me is when you look at these cans, they look like Miller Lite cans
Yeah.
They do.
because of how their label and the logo is.
Mhm.
It's
Uh,
like the old English
Oh,
fonts.
here.
and also, um, I had mentioned this Tuesday. I mentioned this Tuesday, but I picked up Stephen King's new book,
Oh,
Hansel and
Hansel and
Gretel.
Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel. It's a children's book. Um, so basically, what it is, this Maurice Sendak, he actually passed away. I'm not really sure how long ago, but he was an artist, did all kinds of paintings, and he did a bunch of paintings for um, old fairy tales. And years after his death, they gathered up a whole bunch of Hansel and Gretel paintings that that he had done but never released, and they contacted Stephen King to see if he would be willing to do a retelling of the fairy tale. And now it's finally out, and I'll be
Yeah.
able to start reading this tomorrow because I had been working like hell to get this book finished, and look how thick it is.
Yep.
God, that thing
Seven
is.
hundred and fifty-two
I was
pages.
going to say, that's pretty big.
Yeah, and that's not even Joe Hill's biggest novel either. He's getting ready to release one next month that's 896 pages.
This is the sparkling uh, liquid death.
Is that
It's sparkling water.
okay? Yeah, I've seen those too.
Kate, you are giving me too many
Yeah.
ideas. Kate, with all these comments she's made, you are giving me too many more ideas of how I should be explaining about Top, and you're stealing them.
Where is she coming up with all these
She's
things?
coming up with all this because, like I said, it was based on. I told you guys last week it's based on the most interesting man in the world, Dos Equis commercials. That's where she's coming up with a lot of this stuff.
Hey, little one. Hey.
Well, a lot of this stuff is more like Chuck Norris comments.
Yeah, I do love it, but it's frustrating the hell out of me. That's my line. Damn it.
Well, that's the whole point. She's doing it.
Yeah, I know.
Don't you get it?
It's all meant for. Speaking of which, Jeremy, be prepared. Pickle Tom. That's all meant for him.
You know, but before all that shit started, I really did like pickles.
Okay.
He once made a weeping willow.
Weeping Willow.
She has got to be getting this stuff online. She has to be.
I told she like last week when we were doing the show, she sent me a whole list of like different of these different lines that were used in the commercials and stuff. And when I look at these, I'm like, where the hell are you getting these things from? I didn't even think of that. And she's like, she's just simply said, I just made it up. Think to myself, no, there's got to be more than that.
Yes, I am.
Oh, you're doing another live with Don tomorrow?
Yeah, well, we kind of sort of got cut off last week.
What happened?
His internet was working perfect. Then, about an hour and 5 minutes into the show, he just started going all robotic.
Oh,
His video was freezing. His audio was getting all garbled up. Um, it it just got so bad. We got to end this.
Yeah.
oh, that really sucks.
It did, and for an hour, not a single issue.
It must have been something on his side then.
Yeah, it was on his side. And I even checked that the guys weren't having any weather issues.
No, we weren't.
So I don't get it.
That's okay. The weather issues today here.
Sorry, I'm laughing what Tom just said.
This is my first time. Okay, we're going to mute him right now.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. So, um, this is the first time in the 4 years I've lived here that the fires have come down this direction. They're not, but the way the wind is. And if you look at the fire map right now, it's all the way across the US into Canada. It's bad. And I walked outside at lunch and I'm like, is Dad lighting a fire right now? And I'm looking all around the yard, don't see it. Look up. I'm looking out toward, the backyard, and I can't see a block over. I'm like, oh, we have a problem here. There's a house fire. So I'm walking around. Dad goes, just nonchalantly, because he's lived here all his life. He goes, it's probably the fire from the mountains. I said, oh my gosh, I haven't heard anything about that. We got to looking it up. What we're getting is not even the one in Boulder. It's from Canada.
That's what I figured, from Canada.
We actually had that about a year or so ago. They were having wildfires so bad that it came down here.
Yep.
We had a thing going around saying if you don't have your doors open, don't have your windows open. If you don't need to go out, don't go out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that you don't inhale all that smoke. And
Yeah.
it was like it. I want to say about 5 days.
Yeah, and not only just for Jeremy's area, it's one of, again, another one of those areas that if Jeremy was having that issue, so were we. That was the same thing in the Chicago area.
Yeah.
The only time I ever went out was just for like 5 minutes at most, and that was just simply to go and come home from work, and that was it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're having, we won't even let the dogs out very long because that's not good for them either.
No.
No, absolutely not.
It was when it happened here. It was covering Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and I think it even went as far south as Kentucky.
Pretty much a vast majority of, well, probably also Wisconsin too, because it's in Michigan. So pretty much a good majority of the Midwest.
Well, Mr. Computer Whiz, look up the fires right now. Look how far they are spread. It is ridiculous. We're going to have a lot of things gone. It looks like it's all through the mountains right now. But I know there's some in Boulder, which is kind of in the mountains, but this is not, I don't like this at all. I won't even run the AC right now because I don't want that in here.
I'm at fire.arnow.gov, so it's loading up.
I'm on NASA.
Oh, yeah.
It
Okay.
looks like it's dissipating. It did grow big time, and then now it's dissipating.
Well, I understand it when it's dissipating, the smoke is going to get worse. But they're saying because of the cool front, not that the cool front has anything to do with it, but it does have to do with the weather or the wind change. So now it's blowing places it hasn't been. And yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Right now, the sky's orange.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of the fires, it's all mostly from Western Canada. So like British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. So, and then it's like Saskatchewan. Yeah, thank you. I got that wrong. And then, of course, it looks like the worst. Yeah, I know. See, I always get that one province mixed up and confused with the wrong name.
Don't we have some people there? Hey, sweetheart.
That last one I like.
Wait, what? Which one?
That last one I like.
We need to make a show. You all need to make a show of just that stuff. Just that.
Yeah, but it's like a good portion of it. I can see where you're talking about now. Adrian.
Wow.
And so it's a lot worse, however. I mean, as bad as it is, it's definitely a lot more worse, like in the Pacific Northwest areas, like so states like Washington, Montana, and part of Northern California and Idaho.
I wonder how much of this, I see a lot of it when I just glanced at the map when I asked Zach to pull it up, but I wonder how much of this is affecting cities, like actual fire in the cities, and how many houses are affected by this.
Well, I'm looking it up right now. So far, about almost 69,000 people have been evacuated. Uh, two deaths
Jeez.
and one non-fatal injury. So
So Robert just sent this to me. Here's actually just to give you guys an idea of the map itself. So, I mean,
Nobody's
this
the
is
hoe.
just obviously
she's
the
talking about me. I'm the hoe.
Oh,
oh um
This
I
thing is
said
actually,
hun, and I thought she thought I called her a hoe. I was like,
this thing has actually been going on since May.
yeah, this is what he just sent me, so you guys can get an idea.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I saw earlier.
that's what you saw too. Okay.
Yeah.
well,
I
it's
also
ridiculous.
had one from NASA where it was showing a dissipation,
Hmm.
but the areas where it was dissipating does not line up with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the thing is, I mean, like earlier in the year, we had, oh,
Oh
earlier in
God.
the
Oh,
year, we
Oh,
had
you know.
New Mexico. New Mexico had it pretty bad.
Yeah,
And
I remember hearing
places
that.
that Jan had lived
Yeah.
are now gone. And then, you didn't hear much about it except up in the forest here where it really didn't. Of course, it did damage to nature, but it didn't kill people. But this is my first year seeing this stuff, and it's a little unnerving.
It is.
I last year was the first for me too. I'm looking up right now at acres burned. So far, a total 20,500,000 acres have been burned. The two that got hit the hardest are Saskatchewan with some of almost 7.5 million acres burned. And then Manitoba at 5.2 million acres burned.
Does it say how any of this started?
I know some of it I think was I don't know if it was caused by I mean there was probably a combination of different things. I'm sure part of it may have been accidentally set alight, but of course also just like over when we get these out of control wildfires, I'm sure some of them probably also were started by lightning too.
And that's what I was wondering. Is it man made? I know the one that we had started here, I think I saw it Monday. This week has been a blur because we've been so busy. Um, I know it started from maybe it was Wednesday. I saw Tuesday. I saw it. It started from a campfire that somebody had not put out.
It is okay, yeah, it looks like I just looked it up still. Well, they just said it is. Yeah, I was right. It was a combination of lightning ignited fires, particularly in Manitoba. And help me out again, Jeremy. I already forgot how to.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan, particularly in Manitoba and Saskatchewan, and human-caused incidents such as a fire near Point Alburn, British Columbia, fueled by 3 years of hot, dry conditions and exacerbated by a warm, dry spring. This extreme heat and dryness created abundant dry fuel, leading to a severe wildfire season that has become the country's second worst on record.
Here's the thing. This is 2 years in a row now, and it has had wildfires like this where we down here are getting the smoke.
Thanks, Robert.
So why is this happening?
The only thing I can think of is the fire is big enough that it's but it's changing wind direction as well.
We never had this problem before, not from Canada.
We still have them here in the States, but like,
Yeah, but you wouldn't expect it in Canada because it's cold as hell in Canada.
yeah, usually it is. Well,
Oh my God, Nick.
what?
Okay. I want you to look at your photograph there. Just look at it for a minute. Pretend you don't know what's on your shirt.
It's okay.
But the way you're leaning down, it looked like you had your boobs out.
Oh God, no. It's been
Couldn't see the rest of it. All I'm seeing is boobs out.
no, it's not. I promise you.
All right, so here's
It's a jack-o'-lantern.
No, we are talking about wildfires. So that's why Nick has to have his boobies hanging out in Illinois.
Oh God damn it, Jeremy.
So now his new theme song, you know, there's Rodney Carrington, Don't Look Now, Mama's got her boobs out. It's going to be Don't Look Now, Nick's got his boobs out.
I don't even know that song. I don't think I want to know.
Look it up. All I can say is don't ever go partying with Mama.
Robert, add an S in front of cat and you got it.
Yeah, Robert did say that. Hey, no pumpkin.
Honey, what are you doing? What do you want?
Rob?
You're never up here. What do you want? What has he done? Go tell Daddy about it, not me. Did Timmy fall in the well? All right, go.
So we got that happening in the news, and then also very disturbing piece of news that came out of Houston, Texas, a couple of days ago. So the end result was a kid got killed.
You know, I saw the headlines when it first happened, and I never saw anything again after that. So tell us what actually happened.
So what happened? First of all, this is at 11:30 at night, and this kid is 11 years old.
What's up, Braxton?
Kids that young had no business being out that late.
No. Were they in the city or the country?
All I know is that the news came from Houston. So I'm guessing it happened in Houston or somewhere around an area.
I can understand Houston being out in the country like that or being in the city like that. I do not understand if it's out in the country because those country kids we're out all hours of the night.
On a school night?
Oh. As long as they got their asses up and went to school, I didn't care how long they stayed up. Their asses just better be ready for school.
Well,
But we were in the country. Like, the only thing that bothered them was cows. They go cow tipping. That's their own fault.
So, the kid wasn't by himself. There was another kid. At first, I thought it was a group of them, but Dad was telling me that it was only two of them. So what they did was they decided to play a game of Ding Dong Ditch, and they did it. Took off running. This guy comes out, guns a-blazing, and just starts shooting. And I don't know if he nailed both of the kids or just one, but he nailed the one. And then at roughly about 1:30, 2 o'clock the next afternoon, the kid died.
There was a grown person with him, Braxton? Well, I'm going to tell you what. Number one, I understand both sides. I understand that there are so many murders and house raidings and there's murders and house raidings and there's people trying to steal off your front porch. I do get that. But what if somebody came to your door for help? And you're going to run out there and shoot them? Are you kidding me? At least find out what's going on. You don't start shooting.
They from the last thing I read was that they got the guy.
That's
That
good.
he has been arrested. I have not heard anything since. I'm gonna look it up now. Um,
I don't understand shooting at a target that is running away. I don't understand it's illegal. You don't shoot at a non-threat.
okay, here it is. Yes, he has been arrested. Uh, oh, he's already appeared in court today.
Already, okay.
Yeah,
Go for it.
this is on people.com. So um, he will be held on a $1 million bond, and there is a possibility that he will face more serious charges. Uh, what can be more serious than murder?
I can't think of anything.
Well,
Torture and murder.
well, not only
Yeah.
that. I mean, if
So
it's more
he will
serious
return to court
charges,
October 21st. Oh, and down here it says that the kid, him and his cousin, knocked on the door and ran away. Um, but let's see. Uh, it's not seeing anything about the age of the cousin, at least not yet.
well, and also whatever serious charges that he's going to be facing, considering not only that it happened in Houston, but it happened in the state of Texas, and state of Texas is notorious for it, is they have that strong belief in the death penalty. So there's a good likely chance that he'll probably be at risk of receiving the death penalty in the end.
Good.
I don't doubt that. Okay, first shot was directed at the ground. However, after the warning shot, a second shot hit the kid in the back.
I wonder.
That
I'm
right
sure.
there tells me intent to kill.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sure we don't have all the information, but Braxton said he saw a video on it. Was the kids running away or?
That's another thing that popped up on is he and his cousin were reportedly filming the prank at the time that the shooting occurred. So uh, let's see. The outlet reported that there were limits of some evidence. For instance, uh, of questions if the evidence or if the video was evidence that the suspect shot with a clear intent to kill. Um, but here's the thing: you fired a warning shot, and then he shoots again, obviously aiming at the kid.
Right.
So I don't know how that doesn't say intent to kill.
Right.
Uh,
I don't know. I was always taught. I had my concealed carry. I was always taught if you're going to aim that thing, you better damn well use it. And if you're going to aim it, it better be a threat coming at you. And there's no other report. You can't run. You can't. And if that kid was not in his house, he could have ran. He could have shut his door.
here it gets even more interesting. ABC reported that at
Oh.
least 20 firearms were found in this guy's home. They were found in a
Jeez.
small closet on the left side of the residence, right next to the front door. 20 firearms.
Wow.
That guy had a
How
fear.
how old was this guy that committed the shooting? How old was he?
42.
42. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you in most states you have to be able to prove that you cannot get away from the threat.
Kate, so Jan does make a point. If they trespass in Texas. I mean, this because she's talking about some of the other laws they have in that state. So it's going to be pretty severe punishment that he's going to be facing.
I think so.
There is that well known term. In fact, don't mess with Texas.
I get that, but this is a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he did
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
trespass.
Yeah.
He was mischievous.
Well,
But
Braxton said he tried to kick the door down.
kicking the door down.
Uh-huh.
No, not according to this. It just said that. What was it? They knocked on his door 3 times and then took off running. So
Well, there's
okay,
lots of stories going around, which means they're going to have to prove something.
yeah. So well, it's already been determined that they were running away.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did you guys see that? I'm looking it up myself, but they're calling it. I mean, maybe you already said it, Jeremy. I may have missed it because I was looking it up myself. They're calling this whole thing now the Ding Dong Ditch murder shot. I mean, Ding Dong Ditch murder.
I would love to see the home video. I have not seen that yet.
that's basically what it is. Yeah, ding
That's
dong.
what it is too. Yeah,
That's exactly what happened.
yeah.
Ding
yeah.
dong, ditch, you killed.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen the video, but yeah, these are silly things we did as kids.
I understand, protecting your house.
Mm-hmm.
I understand maybe to a point showing a piece to get your message across,
Yeah.
but to shoot at a kid who's running away,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that is not okay.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's definitely not. And the kid was only like 11 years old.
Right.
But at what point does the mother become accountable as well? Or the parent, whoever it is, mother, father, whatever. Because at 11 years old, they shouldn't be out there either. Not in the city.
That's what I said.
They
I
shouldn't.
don't. Yeah. Let's see. When? Let's see. When did this happen? Oh,
Guys, I'll be right back.
okay. This happened on a Saturday night, so it wasn't a school night.
But still, you should know where your 11-year-old is.
Yeah. Nothing was mentioned here, so it says, this kid was with his cousin. What if this kid was staying overnight at his cousin's house?
Then that's the cousin's mom's problem.
Yeah. I thought it was a school night too, but it says here on Saturday, August 30th. So already school had started. Yeah, I don't get it.
Mm-mm. I'm curious to see the outcome.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be all over the place, no matter what. Okay, according to the Texas Penal Code, capital murder, a type of criminal homicide, can apply in a case when the person murders an individual 10 years of age or older, but younger than 15. Chapter 12 of the code states that a person convicted of a capital felony faces life in prison without the opportunity for parole or the death penalty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look up the Make My Day law.
The what?
Make My Day law.
Make my day law?
Uh huh.
Colorado experiment in home protection.
Texas.
Uh, Okay, it says here that Texas does not have a specific make my day law. However, its self defense laws, particularly of the Castle Doctrine and Stand Your Ground law,
Okay.
provide justification for using force, including deadly force, to protect oneself from imminent death or great bodily harm within a home, vehicle, or place of business. So already that doesn't apply here
No,
because this was outside the home. The kid
that's the
was,
same in New Mexico.
yeah,
You better prove that you had nowhere to go,
yeah. And what's an 11-year-old kid going to do unless he has a gun?
and a lot of them do.
Well, Jan just mentioned that 11-year-olds commit crimes nonstop where she's at.
Right.
Um, but I am willing to bet that this kid nor his cousin had a gun.
Right.
Not if they were doing Ding Dong Ditch,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out.
It
Um,
is.
but it does not change the end result that um, two people lost their kid.
Yeah, yeah,
So
But how much of it was their fault that they should have kept them home also? I think there's a 50-50 split there. Unless they snuck out and the parents didn't know about it.
yeah, yeah.
and
Or
that
they were, or even if they even if their parents did let them go out, but they planned this whole thing on their own without their parents' knowledge too.
yeah. So if that's the case, then how can you really place blame on the parents?
Yeah,
Because
they
it
if
kid
they
wants
didn't even
to
have any
drive, he's
idea
going to be
whatsoever.
damned.
Yeah, I don't know. The same way that you can place blame on parents when it's the red flag law. You should have been able to see the signs, and if the courts can prove you knew any of the signs. Now that's a gray area too, because kids play a lot of damn games,
Yes, they do.
and talking crap and whatever. How much do you believe, and how much do you put them in some kind of facility to get them evaluated? And it takes an act of Congress to have your child committed even for evaluation because they don't believe the parent.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's too much not happening that should be happening. You should not be able to have your family member committed like you could in 1920 because they were mentally challenged or whatever the case might be, because back then you could. But there's got to be a point. There's got to be a reasonable line drawn somewhere where they will actually evaluate a person.
Sometimes it's not as simple as that.
No. Mm-mm. No,
So
and like Jan and I always talk about, the mental health system is very broken in the United States. It's very broken. There's no help.
everything is very broken.
Oh, I know.
And I'm afraid it's just only going to get worse.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. The more we allow the hatred, the more we allow the racism, hatred. It's that covers everything.
Yeah.
Then it's going to continue. And it's going to get worse. And people are going to start getting angry. And people are going to start killing people. Well, continue killing people.
Yeah. Uh, okay, this is odd. There is a rumor going around that Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather have agreed to compete in an exhibition boxing match next spring.
Can Mike Tyson move his ass anymore?
Yes, he can.
I'm sure he could. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw videos of him training when he was going for the Jake Paul fight,
Mm-hmm.
and he was moving like he was 20 years old.
I want to know what he's taking because I want some of it.
I Yeah. Let me see how old he is.
I'm going to guess 68.
59.
Okay.
So I get it. He's probably still in great shape, but at his age, he probably should not be boxing. Eddie.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But if that's how he wants to go out. Have fun.
According to this picture, he still has teeth.
Can he remove them?
Uh, these don't look like dentures.
Mm. Yeah, like Jan said, does he have a no trespassing sign? That makes a huge difference too.
I didn't. There wasn't anything about that in the article, so I don't know.
We have no trespassing on all four corners.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Beware of dog on two of the sides. And still see damn kids sticking their hands in the fence like Ghost ain't gonna bite them. I don't have to worry about baby girl right now. It is Ghost that will bite the shit
I was
out of
going
you.
to say, I would figure Ghost would do the job.
He didn't used to. I don't know. Those kids have teased him enough that now he does.
Now, what was it that you brought up, Adrian?
Oh, the Annabelle handler.
Oh, yeah. That.
Okay. So you said that
What?
the cause of death
You
came
know, Nick. What do you know?
Just the absolute. I mean, I only knew a few details about the whole thing with the Annabelle handler, but just from what I know about it is it was here. I'm just gonna have to go back to refresh it. Oh wait, no, it just came. Actually, I don't even need to look it up. It just came back to me about somebody who had recently died. Like what was it? Like a few months ago? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his cause of death came out today.
Okay.
So what was it?
It was.
Heart attack. But the man has had heart issues for years.
Okay, there you go.
Annabelle was not in the room, not anywhere near him. It's still going to be controversial. I get it. But it is an explanation. He has had heart issues for years. If he hadn't, and they didn't find a blockage, I get it. but he has. Annabelle, fake Annabelle, did not kill him. Didn't happen.
But you know how people are. They're going to say, "Oh, it's too much to be a coincidence." No, it doesn't have to be.
Doesn't.
No coincidence. He had heart issues.
And from what I just decided to look it up just to get more info on it. Said that it was the official cause of death was cardiac arrest, which usually is involving
That's
his
a heart
heart.
attack.
That means heart attack.
Yeah,
The the official term is myocardial infraction, or
That just means
yeah,
it's
something like that. They have a real technical term, but it was a heart attack, folks.
yeah.
Everybody shut up about it.
Annabelle made him have a heart attack. All right, Chris.
Yeah, that's all I got to say. Shut up. We're tired of hearing it.
If she made him have a heart attack, he did something to the real Annabelle way back home.
Braxton's asking cardiovascular.
He had cardiovascular disease, yes.
Yeah,
In
and that can get you in.
yeah,
Yeah, he did. But, we all know spirits can do strange things.
yeah,
I get it. We cannot explain the things that they do. But when somebody has, number one, had this history, that's like, if Nick were to go out on tour with something supposedly haunted and all of a sudden he has a brain bleed. Okay. Spirit didn't do it. He has a history of it.
yeah.
Yep.
If I were to go out on tour and all of a sudden I have blood clots in my lungs,
You have blood clots in your lungs on the show.
so
I
Spirit
remember
didn't do that. No, my stupid ass taking.
Myocardial infarction.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
it,
My stupid ass taking
placement of the arm
hormones did it.
gets me.
I hear a phone ring and Zach's girlfriend must be calling. He didn't hear me.
Oh, Zach. You're about to get in trouble.
No,
I
no.
was gonna say that'd be a confrontation I would not want to be involved with.
That's something I never have to worry about.
Do not relive that, Adrian Jan just said.
Yeah, so now
No, we can't.
that's taken care of.
No,
But
we
there's
won't.
still going to be some idiots out there. Still going to be a lot of idiots out there.
Woo, I grow some hot jalapenos. Holy shit.
That is the one hot thing I don't like.
I didn't think they were that bad because I water them all the damn time. Woo.
It's not so much the hotness of it that I don't like. I don't like the taste of it. Now habanero, of course.
No taste. You can't taste anything but the heat.
Yeah. Oh, you should try scorpion.
Oh, no. No.
That was bad.
I like my stomach. I like my throat. In the one piece it's in. No.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it.
I made salsa the other day. And, I got the tomatoes out of the garden. And there wasn't too many. And then I got the jalapenos out of the garden, which I always add too many. And then the neighbor gave us wasn't a ghost pepper. habanero, I think. And so I added that one habanero in with the rest of it, which I'd already put in too many jalapenos.
Yeah, yeah, but habanero is not bad though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
try having the Mexican next door grow it. It's bad.
Well, Cater just says like jalapenos, sweat, just being chewed. No heat is not enough for his body, which is already pretty damn scorching.
You
Wait,
don't need a room.
There you go again.
wait, what am I missing?
This is her,
Nothing.
you know,
Nothing.
the whole shit thing that she's been doing.
Oh, God.
That, that, that's,
Oh, damn it! I misread it. I even misread
it
it.
looks like an actual serious comment.
Oh my God! I thought it was too.
Yeah, usually jalapenos aren't too bad. Come on up here, Chris.
Oh God!
Come on up here. You're welcome to all you want.
Yeah, the jalapenos are not hot enough for this body.
I was gonna say they're usually. My dad, he eats jalapenos all the time, like with his beef sandwiches or whatnot. So
Yeah, so the jalapenos y'all have there are completely different than the jalapenos that are here.
I think that just made my evening.
Yeah, Tom, they really will clean them out for sure. That's
Yeah, I heard they will clean the colon up pretty good. The jalapenos in general.
well,
Clean it?
anything hot and spicy will.
That's
But,
not going to clean it. That's going to make holes in it.
well, there is one thing I like when it comes to something spicy. It's not jalapenos though. Is like horseradish sauce. Like when you have quite a majority of it, and it burns like the fluids in your face. Well, it's painful and it burns like hell, but afterwards it's like you can finally breathe again. It's clearing all those sinuses out.
I got New Mexico chili in my garden.
You should have seen the horseradish that I had in Carson City a few years ago.
I remember that.
What happened with that? I
Well,
don't think I've ever heard of this.
I stayed overnight in Carson City at the Gold Dust West Hotel and Casino,
Okay.
and let's see, I got there fairly late, so I wasn't able to go in and because they had this real nice restaurant inside there. I forget the name of it, but it's something cafe. Um, but they were already closed to dine in, but
Yeah.
the kitchen is open all night. So I
Mhm.
called, just have burger and fries, and they was asking if I wanted anything on the side, and I said, okay, well, what do you got? So, we got ketchup, horseradish, and I was waiting on buffalo sauce, but they didn't have it, so I asked for the horseradish, and they said, okay, do you want the real horseradish or the regular? And I didn't know the difference, so just give me the real one.
Oh boy.
So I dipped the fry, just one dip, and I'm feeling it running across my scalp.
hmm
It starts here and it just crawls all the way to it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I had five fries dipped in the horseradish, just to see if maybe I'll get used to it. Nope. The
Uh-uh.
fifth one was just as intense as that first one, so no, I'm eating the fries bare.
They're
I,
asking you. The regular is mixed with mayonnaise. The other is straight horseradish.
yeah. Um,
That's what I'm used to. Is a straight horseradish on bologna sandwich.
yeah, well, that was a very rude awakening for me.
Poor dad. The last time that he had something so hot, he had a heart attack, and it wasn't because of that, but it did kick it in. So I made all this stuff. Me and him is the ones that loves the real hot. So I take up this salsa last weekend. I said, "Here, taste this." Put it in a little bowl, thinking he's going to get some chips to dip in it. No, He starts taking spoonfuls like he's He-Man.
Jeez.
Heard in him going, okay. And he continues to go. All of a sudden, I see him put it down. And he's struggling to breathe.
I was going to say, those his sinuses must have been truly on fire at that point by eating so much of that.
This is the same guy that could not smell the fire outside when you can't see. But he's like, okay, yep. So I got some more tomato and put in it and tamed it down a little bit. Took it back up there. And I said, here, Mom, give this to him because I tamed it down. She goes, he loved what you had. He may have, but we're not going to give him another heart attack now, are we?
No.
Horseradish on Pop-Tarts. Yeah, you try that. Let me know how that goes, Tom.
I will pass on that one.
Horseradish on Pop-Tarts. Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to pass that too. I mean, I love horseradish, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I could do that with Pop-Tarts.
Well, it'll definitely bring you more flavor than butter will.
well let's take a look at Pop-Tarts to start with and see how many natural ingredients they actually have in them. And when you dissect those ingredients, how much of those ingredients
I honestly don't know
look
how many
like
there are.
Those little ions in there are closer to plastic than they are food.
Wow.
Yeah.
What flavor Pop-Tart Chris is asking?
It don't matter.
It doesn't. I was going to say, I don't think it really matters what flavor it is.
They're all fake as hell.
You know, speaking of flavor, a few weeks ago I tried a new flavor that they had out for Pop-Tarts, mint. They had chocolate. They had it's the Girl Scout cookie mint flavored that they put in Pop-Tarts. It wasn't bad. It
You
wasn't bad.
want a damn cookie? Go get a cookie. Holy shit.
Yeah, but I wanted a Pop-Tart.
Celebrities' favorite snack combinations, like banana slices on our pizza. Okay, so
Never heard of that.
no, that's something I would try though. So, okay, Braxton, my roots, not genetic roots, but my roots from the family that raised me is from Bulgaria. So, yogurt, Greek yogurt is something that was with every meal. So was red wine vinegar on salad. It wasn't really salad. It was cucumber, onion, tomato. Red wine vinegar, a little bit of olive oil. Feta cheese. Feta cheese was with everything, which they don't have the feta cheese that we had back then. You have to go to a cheese shop to get that. But peas. I eat a little bit of yogurt with my peas. I guess you can compare it to cream peas that is here in America. I don't like cream peas, but I do like that. Macaroni and cheese. I eat a little bit of sugar on my macaroni and cheese.
Oh, wow.
Of course, this is the same person that likes menudo and every other culture food.
I like putting buffalo sauce in my macaroni and cheese.
That
I've
doesn't
never
sound
thought
bad.
of that.
It is so good.
Is it really
Now-
not? I was going to say,
I only do it on the Stouffer's brand. I don't do it on any other brand, just the Stouffer's brand.
I was going to say that they have a box that is macaroni and cheese and some kind of either buffalo sauce or Cheeto sauce or spicy. We tried those. They are disgusting.
That is, I think it's a Banquet brand. It's buffalo style mac and cheese with chunks of chicken.
And no, this was a box. It was a box brand.
Not one you get out of from the frozen section.
No.
Okay. I haven't seen that one then. Get the one.
It was disgusting. It may have went off the shelves. This was a year or 2 years ago.
So let me go grab the one I'm talking about.
Okay. Yogurt and what?
wait, What the hell are you thinking right now, Chris?
What are you pissing on, dude?
Flaming Cheetos. Says for Pop Tarts, oh, blueberry, cinnamon, apple, crisp, chocolate chip cookie dough, confetti are his favorites.
I I don't like Pop Tarts, period. But I can stomach the strawberry ones. I've tried those, but no, give me a streusel, turnover. Yeah, no.
It's
But I don't like sweets. I really don't eat sweets.
it's
So,
been like several years, I think, since I've ever even
okay,
had.
yeah, I've never tried
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's what we got at our grocery store.
This is real good.
that. No,
This
no pee.
is real good. Plus 27 grams of protein.
You know, I have this wonderful shake mix. Put it in some milk, put some frozen strawberries. You got your protein for the day. But I did find out you do not skimp on the brand name. Don't do it. Because I can take one and mix it with just milk. It's good. No problem. I asked Zach, I said, go ahead and get this other one. It's cheaper, $2 cheaper, mind you. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do this. Disgusting. I had to mix it with strawberries to down it because I'm not wasting $15. I am that cheap.
Like I was also gonna say too, like it's been many years also since I've even had like a Pop Tart, honestly, of any kind. I mean, honestly, I haven't really had a Pop Tart in quite a long time. So my last time may have been over a decade ago. I really don't remember, honestly.
Chris, it's not the sugars you got to worry about by themselves. It's the carbs.
Yeah, the
I
carbs got to worry about.
looking at it from a diabetic standpoint.
Right.
There
Sugars
are
and carbs. Carbs turn to sugars.
10 grams total sugars in this one.
And carbs turn to sugars, Chris. Can't ignore that. One of my quick fixes. What? Oh, you mean if your sugar's low?
No, I think he's talking about that meal.
I don't know. If it's a quick fix, it's got to be sugar or peanut butter, orange juice, something like that. Buffalo mac and cheese, lemon pepper mac. Oh, that's it. Lemon pepper sounds good.
Lemon pepper is good. There is what was it called? I think it's called the Tower Bar on the other side of Fort Wayne. We used to get these at work on the weekends when all the big wigs weren't around. We would get wings, and I would always get the lemon pepper on mine, and it is so good.
Pop tart. Okay. Okay. So explain this to me. I don't understand this. You buy chicken wings. They're expensive shit. There's no meat on a damn chicken wing.
That's why I get the boneless chicken.
Yeah,
I don't.
that's what I always get
That's a
too.
chicken nugget. That is nothing but a chicken nugget. But
Not
Even
really.
if it's a chicken tender.
it is. That's really all it is. It's cut up chicken tenders. There is no white meat on a damn chicken wing.
Oh shoot.
What'd you do?
My mom's here. She needs to call me for just a sec. I'll be back one more time.
Okay.
Bye, Nick.
I love that he pays attention to his mom and is very respectful to her. Buffaloes do not have wings. No, they do not. And chickens, I don't know what they have wings for because they can only go a few feet up.
I still remember that thing with Jessica Simpson when she was asking about buffalo wings coming from actual buffalo.
I really hope she was joking.
I don't I don't think she was. I think it was something that she was asking during this reality show. I think her and her husband at the time, Nick, the guy from 98 Degrees. I think they had a reality show, and she was asking about that, and I think she was legitimately asking that.
Well, I'm going to say at that point her mother failed.
Well, here's the thing. Not everyone grows up knowing everything.
No.
Um,
Braxton, I want to hear that story, dude.
yeah, that 98 Degrees. Yep.
No, no. I want to know how he found out buffaloes run fast. I know they are deadly as hell. In Kansas, we have herds of them. My sister used to run she used to, like, it's not really a park ranger, but it is for that conservatory. And she used to deal with those buffalo, and I got to go out there as a kid, and holy shit, those things are deadly. They're not fun. I found, where was it, Zach? At Loveland, maybe? Zach was showing me that there's a shop that sells buffalo meat, steak, buffalo burger, all kinds of stuff. Got one for our high school mascot. What? Runs onto the field before every home game. That must have been very damn tame because they will run through it, not on it. Here on YouTube watching you. Oh, okay.
I would just hate for any of them to go into a stampede.
There was we went to Kansas and this last time, and we went, I don't know what we were doing, but had some time to go look around. Went to an old fort, and they had the only white buffalo born there for a long time in that area, of course. We got to see it. That poor thing is supposed to be a descendant of the last like 3 buffalo that existed there because, the buffaloes were all killed at one point. But this poor buffalo, I swear, the thing had to be inbred because it wasn't scared of nothing. And it just look at you. Not even get up to eat. An albino, almost. They're calling it a white buffalo. I know it was wintertime, so it's going to look less white than what it should. But I just don't. I'm not going to call it white because it had a lot of brown fur on it.
Chris just sent me something.
Be scared. Be very scared.
No, I think this has to do with this mascot thing he was talking about.
If it's Chris, you still got to be very scared.
Yeah, he does send some weird stuff sometimes.
He might be in the back street.
Stuff.
XXCD comic and the rule of 10,000. All right, you got me curious. If I get a virus on my phone from looking shit up, I suppose I'm gonna hurt you.
Oh, this is actually a Facebook post that he sent me.
No, I'm talking. No, I was talking to PSU Eat on there, Sweden. XX what? XXCD.
Just like CU buffs. Dude, I have no idea who CU buffs are.
Ours, Garden City Buffaloes. That was ours too. Permanent link to this comic. Okay. Let's see what he said. Rule of 10,000.
Oh, I got some really good news the other day.
What's that?
See if I can find it first so I can show you guys.
Oh, okay, okay. So the rule of 10,000 refers to the comic number 1053, which asserts that people should not be ridiculed for not knowing something widely considered common knowledge. The comic explains that for every widely known fact, approximately 10,000 people in the U.S. learn it for the first time every single day. Okay, I can go with that.
All right, so I have here in my hand from the USB Championship, the tournament that I went to in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look, Adrian.
Championship, USBC.
Yeah, this is the tournament that I did back in March in
Right.
Louisiana. I got a check.
What
My
did they send you?
my doubles partner and I placed 633rd. Okay?
Okay.
633rd place, and I got a check for almost $190.
That's a pretty good chunk. How many people were involved in this?
Like 60,000.
Oh,
It's a big, big tournament.
so somebody got $1?
No, no, they didn't do that. So my doubles partner and I, we had a score 1,043, and I checked. I'm gonna get back in here and take a look again. Okay,
I miss
score.
anything?
Oh, you miss everything, Nick.
Of course I do.
Dragonflies bite. Wait, what? They land on me all the time, and I think it's good luck. What?
Okay, so we had a score of 1,043. Low to cash was 974.
Okay.
But I don't know what those guys got.
Right.
Um, but when you win these tournaments, you get like $5,000 and
Right.
more than that.
But you spend a lot of money traveling and going, and your equipment and your time.
I do. Well, first of all, this year it was $230 just to bowl.
Right.
Next year is going up to 265.
Jesus.
Yeah, for nine
Wow.
for 9 games. Then there's the hotel and of course
Right.
gas.
Wear and tear on your car, gas, travel, food.
Yep. And I haven't bought a bowling ball in 6 years.
How much does a bowling ball cost?
They're like $100 at least.
Well,
What?
it depends on what they are. A low end ball would probably cost about 150. A plastic ball about 100, but a high performance ball can cost 250.
That's not that okay. That's still not as bad as I thought.
Yeah,
And of course, they measure your fingers and your width and all of that, right?
the pro shop operator does, yes.
Yeah.
But they have to know your style, how you throw, and everything,
Right.
and you also need to know, with the make of the ball, because not every ball is the same.
Right.
Um, I actually a guy I used to bowl with, he bought the same of one ball, the hybrid high road, um, and he would have it drilled differently for different oil conditions. Yeah, he
Yeah.
he, he had like five of the same ball.
Okay.
Like, dude, why? She's like, I like this ball. Yeah,
Braxton, I understand that one. And I also am convinced an alligator and a damn chicken are dinosaurs. And turtles.
um, Chris's friend owns the local bowling alley there and is haunted.
Oh, I've been in lots of haunted bowling alleys. Yes. Yeah, I don't understand the reason for it, but yes.
Well, we have one here that was reported to be haunted, but I've bowled in there many times. He was the only one who ever had stories for me. No one else did.
But he was there alone, right?
He said he was, but he isn't exactly the kind of guy that you would want to trust to lead a room.
Okay.
Like,
Now, the one that I investigated was connected to a bar. And I think that's where the activity was coming from, was the bar side. And it was the old owner.
the side of the bowling alley that he said that he was hearing things. The bar was on that side, but I don't know.
They'll also swell, Robert.
I have a hard time trusting him. He lost me a car.
Okay.
Chris, I want to check this place out when I come down there in March. I got to see this haunted bowling alley.
There was a story that we started watching yesterday that we're going to finish tonight. Well, probably not tonight, but we're going to finish tomorrow at least. It's haunted places, but it talks about Hawaii, which is absolutely amazing. The beliefs and the things that they have going there. But this last one we started, I really wanted to continue. In this place, they had just talked about Estes Park and the hotel. And I'm not sure if they moved on or it was still that because we had to go. But this is the most intriguing haunting I've ever heard of. Candles would light themselves. And I thought, okay, it happened one time. Maybe somebody came in, I'm not going to buy that story. And then.
Church candles?
No. Regular candles. And it was in the dining room. And it was here in Colorado. The lady who survived the Titanic, they called her the unsinkable Molly Brown.
Unsinkable what?
Molly Brown. She was.
Is this the woman that was in Two Sinkings?
No.
Because I remember a story of a woman who was on the Titanic and she was on another ship that sank and she survived it.
I don't think so. The reason they called her that was because she was this highfalutin. She didn't start out that way. She married a person who was owned mines. He didn't own them till after he married her, but he owned mines. They hit gold. They hit pay dirt.
Molly Brown.
Yeah. They hit pay dirt, and she all of a sudden wanted to be part of the highfalutin crowd. Moved him from his mine. Their marriage went to shit. And then, but she tried to be this highfalutin person in Denver, which in Denver doesn't work so well. You're not accepted when you come from that. I don't care how much money you got then. But she would take luxurious trips and things like that. And her husband just wanted to go back to his normal life. He didn't like that. So they kind of, went their separate ways until they separated. They didn't separate until after she come back from the Titanic. And the reason she came back was because her grandchild was dying. And she booked that trip back. The thing is, she had to book it on the most luxurious thing you can get because she had to uphold her standards. But
Hey,
Zach, he says hi.
Hi.
I see him all in the reflections of everything.
Yep. But anyway, her and her husband split. She ended up living years later. But the reason they called her
10 years.
unsinkable
10 years.
10 years. Okay. Thanks, history buff. Go away. Um, the whole reason that they were calling her the unsinkable is because she would sing to the people. She never, when this accident actually happened, she was never the highfalutin one to be better than anybody else. She was there for the people, trying to help them, get them through it,
Yeah. Excuse me.
all that good stuff. But I don't remember if it was that house or if it was the motel that they were talking about that this happened. But even the camera crews came in and were like, yeah, we're not. They had cameras set up talking, and they said, let's see if these candles will light themselves. The guy that was there by himself, because they closed for the whole season, and then he was there by himself to leave, do repairs and whatever else for a little while, and then he'd go back home. But the candles would light themselves, and the first time it happened, he was like, yeah, somebody's screwing with me, and put it out and moved on. Candles lighting themselves is pretty dangerous. So the next time it happened, he knew nobody was there, and he talked to the spirit and said, look, I don't mind you telling me you're here. Let me know another way besides scaring the shit out of me. But that kept continuing, and it was always on the formal dining table that happened. So, of course, they replaced candles. They did all kinds of things. But the camera crew was there, and the guy was laughing at him, kind of making fun of him. And it happened right in front of him. So I imagine that they would check the candles to see, if there was any tricks going on. But that is intriguing if that truly happened.
The person I was thinking of is Violet Jessup. She survived the sinking of the Titanic,
Okay.
the sinking of the Britannic, and she was also on the Olympic when it collided with another ship.
So apparently she just wasn't going to drown.
Yeah, this is all in a span of 5 years.
Hey, dumbass, something's telling you stay off the water.
There was also, I don't know if you guys know this. I mean, all this talk about the Titanic was, see, most people, when you think of like the media obviously involved in the Titanic, you immediately think of the film from the late 90s. But there have been, of course, several other films based on the Titanic prior to the one from 1997. And if you guys didn't know, that same year when the Titanic sank in 1912, they also made a short film, like literally right after the actual event. And what's even more surprising was one of the actresses of that movie, someone by the name of Dorothy Gibson. She not only was an actual survivor that was featured in the film itself, but more importantly, wait, hang on a second. Sorry, my computer's freezing up. But more importantly, she wore the very same clothes that she wore when she was on the sinking of the Titanic.
The people at that time viewed that movie as extremely bad taste, and it ruined her acting career.
Yeah, so here I'll even show. I thought they had. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is I'm going to share the screen for a quick second.
Tom, did they talk about the candles? Was it in that place?
I'm not sure, but
Tom has been there. I was asking if
okay.
he heard the history.
So this is an actual photo from a still shot from the movie itself in the 1912 film, and this shows her wearing the very same clothes that she wore, like when she actually was on the Titanic. It was a promotional photo.
Huh.
Yeah, a lot of people were not thrilled about that.
Yeah, because it was very recent.
Actually, I think they did it in the same month. didn't he?
I'm not sure, but what I do know though is so here is. Give me a second here while I'm looking because
The
they
haunted bathroom. Oh wow, I didn't know about that.
this
Well, I haven't gotten into the rest of this story on this yet.
this is a photo, a poster of the film that was made shortly after Titanic. It was called "Saved from the Titanic," obviously.
Okay, so this happened a month after the
Yes,
sinking.
it was.
Yeah, that's probably not okay. People
No.
are
Even
still.
back in 1912, that would have been like truly a way too soon moment.
Yeah.
Because even though you had actual survivors taking part of this movie, for many other families that lost their relatives, that definitely was probably not okay to them.
Well, plus the trauma involved in that.
Right.
They
Well,
should have
Chris,
waited.
you would evacuate real quick, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they should have waited years before even thinking about doing something like that.
They saw
Yeah,
dollar signs, like
it's
a lot
it's
of them now.
it's a very, and believe it or not, you know, obviously this was typical of movies back then. Yeah, yeah, you're right, Jeremy. It was May 16th, 1912 that it was released, and typical of these kind of movies that were made back in those days. The film is actually only about 10 minutes long, and so it's a short movie. And then they say about the reception of the film, it says, okay, so I'm just going to read this real quick. Saved from the Titanic was released in the United States on May 16th, 1912, and was also released internationally in the United Kingdom as a survivor of the Titanic, and in Germany as I can't really read it because it's in German, but in English it says what the Titanic taught her. Now, surprisingly, it attracted a positive review in the moving picture world of May 11th, which described Gibson's performance as a unique piece of acting in the sensational new film play of the Eclair Company, which is creating a great activity in the market for the universal interest in the catastrophe has made a national demand. But they don't. Okay, so it doesn't really say about like what just audiences in general say. It just sounds like it's more from the critics' point of view. Although I do say the review did go on saying Miss Gibson had hardly recovered from her terrible strain in the wreck when she was called upon to take part in this new piece, which she constructed as well. It was a nerve-wracking task, but like actresses before the footlights, this beautiful young cinematic star valiantly conquered her own feelings and went through the work. A surprising and artistically perfect reel has resulted.
That's what they called beautiful back then. I want to go back there.
Now, it says here the Motion Picture News commended the film's wonderful mechanical and lighting effects, realistic scenes, perfect reproduction of the true history of the fateful trip, magnificently acted. A heart stirring tale of the sea's greatest tragedy depicted by an eyewitness. However, okay, so here is actually. Oh, wait, actually, no, here's what I was looking for. However, some criticize the questionable tastefulness of portraying a disaster that had so recently occurred. Spectator and the New York Dramatic Mirror condemned the venture as revolting. As what they said, the bare idea of undertaking to reproduce in a studio, no matter how well equipped, or by reenacted sea scenes in the event of the appalling character of the Titanic disaster with its 1,600 victims, is revolting, especially at this time when the horrors of the event are so fresh in the mind, and that a young woman who came so lately with her good mother safely through the distressing scenes can now bring herself to commercialize her good fortune by the grace of God is past understanding.
Well,
This would be pretty much the same as if somebody decided to make a movie right now based on that killing in Houston.
but here's the thing. She was there. I can understand her point to a point because she was there. She lived it.
Yeah.
Her life was in danger as well. She happened to survive, yes, but she will never, would have never forgotten what she saw, what she felt. And the best way to act it, if she was going to do it, would be fresh.
Well, not only that, I mean, to also wear, like, go as far as like wearing the actual very same clothes that she wore um, on that night of the Titanic. I mean, that just adds even more realism to it.
Now, they could have done it justice by waiting 10 years to release it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it
Um,
still would be fresh. The actress would be still the same. It still would be the same thing. But I don't know that you ever heal, but at least have a little time to deal with it.
okay, so another thing, I saw what Sue just said. The film is on YouTube if anyone is. I just looked it up.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, it's not the same film because I'm looking at comments and stuff like that. This is a different Titanic film. Unfortunately, like, because I know some people are probably going to ask, is there any way that I could watch this film? Unfortunately, I mean, with this film, Saved from the Titanic, unfortunately, no copies of the movie are known to exist, even over 100 years later, 110
Wow.
years later, because it's now it's the only prints that were made at that time were destroyed in a fire at the Fort Lee, New Jersey studio at the Eclair Moving Picture Company in March 1914. So just 2 years after the movie was made. Its only surviving visual records are a few production stills printed in the Moving Pictures News and Motion Picture World showing scenes of the family and a still of Dorothy standing in front of a map of the North Atlantic pointing to the location of the Titanic. And in fact, Frank Thompson highlights the film as one of a number of important movies that disappeared, noting that it was unique for having an actual survivor of the Titanic playing herself in a film, while, like I just said, while wearing the very clothes in which she abandoned ship. Um, as what he said, that was all this was committed to film within days of the disasters enough to make any Titanic enthusiast sigh with frustration. No matter what melodramatic hokum found its way into the film, and the synopsis suggests that there was plenty. Saved from the Titanic is an irreplaceable piece of the Titanic War. Now, this movie was also Dorothy Gibson's second to last film, as the effort of making it appears to have brought an exist. I cannot say the damn word. Exist.
Existing,
What's that?
existing.
Existential, if I'm saying that correctly.
Existential.
Existential. Oh my God, I cannot even talk today. Existential. Forget it. Crisis for her. According to a report in the Harrisburg Leader, she had practically lost her reason by virtue of the terrible strain she had been under to graphically portray her part. And Dorothy Gibson, after she left filmmaking, it doesn't say what she did later on. She died in 1946 at the age of 56 in Paris, France.
Somebody click on that link that Sue sent.
Yeah, that's probably I just looked it up. That's, like I said, it's a different version of the film.
Is
But
it still her?
no, it's not the same. It's not the same one. So a lot of people here in the comments are saying this isn't the Dorothy Gibson film. It's newsreel footage of the ship and the crew themselves before it sailed. So it's not the actual movie that was made right after the actual tragedy. And they're all saying the same thing. All copies of the movie were destroyed by a studio fire in 1914. So unfortunately, it's a lost film. It's essentially been lost to time, sadly. Yeah, see, even Sue just said my mistake. Yeah, he must have thought it was the actual film, but no, it's been lost to time. Like I said, it doesn't exist unless a new copy somehow surfaces. It's a lost film, so there's no way to watch it except for just seeing the few production stills like the one I just showed of Dorothy Gibson's performance.
You sure about that?
It's just the production stills. I mean, it even says on Wikipedia that again it hasn't been seen since 1914.
You know, because what I'm watching right now said safe from the Titanic, 1912,
Oh,
starring Dorothy Gibson. Well, then what's this?
well, no, it's like I said, that's not the actual movie. That's like I said, somebody just confirmed. That's newsreel footage of the ship and crew themselves before it sailed. And I do recall they used there was footage shot of the Titanic before the tragedy. So what you're probably just seeing is just the newsreel footage.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean is that unless somehow a copy surfaces, there's no way to watch this film.
Well, they found lost films before, so.
Yeah, well that's what I mean. Unless a copy surfaces,
Yeah.
there's just no way to watch. And you also have to remember too, unlike today of how we make movies, the way how they made movies back then were not the same exact way because a lot of those movies that were made throughout the early 1900s, 10s, and 20s, you know, were primarily made through nitrate film, which was a highly flammable type of film. And
Yep.
that's where you got a lot of the so-called studio fires that resulted. And that was a major issue, unfortunately, is that, if you didn't make any new copies or if you left your film, in a particular room temperature where it was not supposed to be in, that was the end of your film. And but not only that, movies back then were also not treated with as much respect as they are now because in those days, people basically saw movies as nothing more than basically plays captured on film or Broadway shows captured on film. And then just like a typical theater show,
They're not
once
wrong.
yeah, well, yeah, and I'm not. No, they're not wrong. But the problem is that right after the film has had its screen sharing and everybody has seen it, as many people as they could, they often would throw these movies in the trash. So a lot of because they just figured back then that well, we show the movies and knowing that no one else is going to see it, they have no purpose for the future. So they just throw them out. They literally just throw them out in the trash, or sometimes even go as far as burning them because they were made out of nitrate. It wasn't obviously until the early 1930s where they find not only was around the time when sound came in, but more importantly, they've developed a new type of film, which was called safety film, and that was a uh, non-flammable type of film. So that's why you see more films from the 30s and beyond that still exist today prior to 1929, 1930.
I just found another survivor of the Titanic who also survived the sinking of Britannic and the Donegal
Yep.
and the Alcantara. This guy survived 4 ships sinking.
Jeez.
I just looked that up. I'm going to have to watch that after. Thanks, Brexton.
Yeah, and Chris makes a good point. Even TV shows did that. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Braxton. I mean, starting in the 30s was when they started using safety film, and a lot more movies were being saved. But I don't think it really was fully until the 1950s that more films really were starting to be saved over at that point. But yeah, any extra films during that time were burnt, and like Chris said, even TV shows did. In fact, there are still. I don't know if you know this, Jeremy, because I know you're a fan of this. There's actually still some episodes from like some of the earliest episodes from the television series Doctor Who from like the 60s. Some episodes
I
are
don't
still
watch
missing.
Doctor Who.
What's that?
I don't watch Doctor
Oh,
Who.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got that mixed. That was great. That was great
Yeah.
to watch. Yeah, there were. No, I was just going to say that there were even episodes of Doctor Who that are still missing today, even 60 years later.
Have you guys heard of? Oh, thanks. Have you guys heard of the Whitaker family? Do you know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know the Whitaker family from West Virginia, the
Okay.
inbred family.
Okay. So, are you guys friends with the 2 people that are actually helping them right now?
Who are those people that are helping them?
I don't know.
Um, I'm actually
I
talking.
remember seeing a conversation about them, but I don't remember where.
Yeah,
I
they
I'm
live in
actually talking to the guy right now. There's two of them. One's really hurt right now, so he can't do a lot. His last name's Rourke.
Rourke.
Um,
Okay. Yeah,
uh,
Braxton knows who they are. I think Braxton brought them up at one point. They live in southern West Virginia in a unincorporated community called, funny enough, called Odd, West Virginia.
yes, yes. But he's this guy. These guys are amazing if they are doing what they say they're doing. That's you never know what's going on behind the scenes. So I never want to advocate for someone unless I really know. But from what I'm seeing, these guys are really doing an amazing job. They have a YouTube channel showing what they're
Yes.
doing.
Yep.
The three, I guess those, there was a halfway normal family member, a female, who got with a male who, I'm not going to say normal. He had mental issues, but he wasn't like that. He was on drugs and he abused one of the young men in the family.
Oh, really?
He would hit him. He would.
Are you
It
sure
was
he
bad.
wasn't? Are you sure? Just out of curiosity, but are you sure he was? It's like you said, the mental issues. Are you sure that wasn't a result from the inbreeding from him, like from his family, or what do you think?
Oh, the mental issues of the family is absolutely from the inbreeding. There
Okay.
was twins. There was the grandparents. There was brothers who married twins, sisters. They, of course, kept breeding, and there was no other people in that mountain family at the time, so they continued to breed. But um, I'm assuming they didn't know what they were doing. I'm not going to speculate on that. That was a long time ago. But the product of it is sad. Um, the thing is, they came out on TV with them because somebody just accidentally ran into them going up there, and then put them on TV like years ago. You would do a sideshow, a freak show.
Oh God, no.
And this guy came in and actually, from what I understand, now I'm not going to say I know facts because all I know is what he has told me and what I see put out is he went in and like protected them because after that came out, they would come up to their door and taunt them and try to get pictures with them.
Oh, that's awful.
And they knew nobody except their own little family. And then when that sister brought someone in, they were drug addicts and he abused at least the boy that we know of. Some of them were nonverbal. Most of them were nonverbal. A
I've seen
couple of them,
video.
they barked like dogs, but
Yeah.
that's the only way they really weren't barking, but that is how it sounds. And that
Yeah,
is
it's
how
just
they
like
communicate.
basically it's just their type of language, almost like their hidden
No,
language.
no, they were
Well,
grunting.
not language, but you get what I mean. Their only form
Yeah.
of communication.
Yeah, they were like grunting, but they understood each other. They understood, I think, mostly by actions, like you would a baby. If a baby's cry, a mother knows a baby's cry, whether they're hurt, whether they're hungry, it's different. So I think that's what it was. It was a sister, like Braxton said. There is a sister who was decently normal. She wasn't like the others. And she was asked by her mother to take care of her siblings and never marry. She did just that. Now,
It's interesting.
she's not a bad looking person. She's old now,
No,
yes.
I thought there were. I think I mentioned about this before. I thought there were other members of the Whitaker family, but unlike the group itself that stayed secluded in Odd, West Virginia, I thought there were some members of the Whitaker family that actually not only moved away, but
There was.
actually, there were some that actually married
There was.
got together, married, and had families of their own,
They did.
not involving inbreeding.
Right. They did.
You got
But
to feel bad for these people because it's not their fault they came out the way they did.
right. And they were the ones that went off and had their family, they were still inbred.
Oh, they still were, even if they were
Oh.
with even if they were with
They were
someone
inbred.
that was not related.
If
Oh,
they were
yeah,
part
'cause
of
they
that
would've
family,
carried
they
their-
were inbred.
Okay, I was going to say I would have thought at the very least they would have at least they would have carried obviously one of them would have carried the inbred genes, maybe not the person that they were with.
Right. So it does get, I guess, diluted going along the line. It does. But, I got to say, this family did the best they could. I'm very proud of what they did because they took care of each other. This was back to basics of animal instinct is really what it is. But one came in and abused the rest of them. One of the older females can't talk, and she keeps pointing to her head when she's trying to communicate something. And she was trying to tell these people that are helping her, point to her head, and finally they figured it out. She was trying to say that other guy, they finally went to court. These people went to court for these people and got that guy away from there, evicted him, got him out, got a restraining order.
God.
That guy left his family to stay in an Airbnb to be next to them to make sure they were okay. I have all the respect in the world for that.
Yeah, really.
But it was really comical because she was trying to say that, and they were trying to figure it out on YouTube. What was going on? They were filming at the time just on their YouTube channel, and what she was trying to actually say was that brother-in-law, or if he was a boyfriend, I don't know, but it would have been a brother-in-law, when he was living there, was hurting Timmy. And she was trying to show how he hurt Timmy. And she was pointing at her head and her foot and grunting. And it was unreal. But yeah, they did go to court. They actually got some of their house fixed where they don't have as much hardship as they did trying to get around their house and do different things. Got the clutter out. It's really interesting. It really is. I have all the respect in the world if he's doing this for the right reasons. Now, he is getting some money from his YouTube channel, and people are donating and sending things. He went and got the girls their first haircut, and the sisters were holding hands walking in. It was just really cute, and they're probably in their 60s.
Yeah, they're getting close to their elderly ages, and I was just watching while you've been talking. I was just watching a little footage of like the Whitakers, like of their house and whatnot, and I did notice like even if they were being taken care of, you could still see that their house was like in really bad. Like there was like trash and garbage all over the place. But I'm sure by now, I'm hoping that they got a lot of that cleaned up to the point that they could actually live comfortably in their home. I mean, they even have a dog with them now. Like to even have a companion.
She's always had the dog.
She always had?
That dog was hers. I went on a binge when I found this because I was friends with this guy before he did this, and I had no idea, like friends on Facebook, not like we talked all the time. But I was friends with him before this happened, and then he kind of plugged that on his page, and I'm like, what is this? And I'd heard of the Whitakers before that, but I didn't know the extent of how he was involved and how the other guy, he was on my Facebook too, was involved in this. And then I got to really paying attention and I went binging that whole day watching all the stories. And of course, just like TV, we only show on YouTube and on Facebook and whatever else what we want to see, what we want people to see. Mm-hmm. I get that. But for him to go to court for these people, I think that's pretty honorable.
It is, because you're talking about a family that, yes, a lot of people see them because of their inbreeding history, But more importantly, you're talking about a family that most of the time they keep to themselves.
Oh,
They
they
don't want
absolutely
they don't
do.
want to have any contact with the outside world. They just want to keep to themselves. But for this guy to actually go to court for him in a way, not intentionally, but to give them some kind of exposure to say, leave these people alone, that's pretty phenomenal.
He went to, not only did he go to court, he's got Timmy with him right now, which is, I believe, the youngest of the boys. And he's got something wrong with his eye where it stays closed all the time.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he doesn't look like he has Down syndrome, but he's obviously he has some mental challenges from inbreeding.
Yeah.
What it is, what they would define it, I don't know. But he is the most fun-loving, like a Down syndrome person, the most fun-loving, trying to learn the world because all he was used to was just sitting. And, his sister, they didn't know how to play and do some of the crazy things we do. I'm not sure if it's a good or bad thing, but
Or they probably didn't even go to school.
oh, absolutely not.
Mm.
He learned to shoot a water gun yesterday, and the guy gave him a water gun, and somebody was under the hood or under the vehicle, and he said, "Go shoot him." And he was just shooting at the car, and then he showed him how to shoot, and he went under there and shot water at him and took off running. It's like watching a 5-year-old learn to play. And it's just so cool.
It's got to be great for him because, again, like I said, not only I'm sure a lot of them didn't learn the basics of like how life works, and like I said, not even going to school when they were kids, and probably not. I would not be the least bit surprised. They probably don't even have jobs like work or anything, but just living secludedly. And I mean, yes, I get the idea that they want to keep to themselves, but even living in an area where they don't have neighbors or anything like that, or anybody checking in on them until now.
Nobody.
Yeah, just like, I mean, I can't help but wonder, like, where is the next nearest house to them? Like where they live in Odd.
I don't.
That they were out in the country.
They
They're
very
like
much
on
are.
the mountain. Yeah,
But
they're
I
like
wonder.
this typical backwoods family. Like they live out in the woods on the Appalachian Mountains.
But here's the thing: people have done that for years, and I'm willing to bet you can go in lots of secluded areas, lots of them, and you're going to see people that never wanted to meet other people. They're not the only inbred. And people laugh about, Kentucky being inbred, whatever. You know what? Some of the best people I ever met were there. Were they inbred? No. But I want to know how these people got their food before people came along. How did they get their food? Did they hunt? Did they know how to, did somebody bring them something? How did they survive before now? Because they survived lots of years without somebody, which the mother apparently had some of her mind because she wouldn't have asked her daughter to take care of the siblings.
Braxton makes a good point, just like what I said. It's West Virginia. They were up there in between backwoods and mountains. Yeah, the Appalachian area. That's where Odd, being in that area.
Yeah, it's their story really is amazing. Now, people wanting to go up there, West Virginia, Alabama, Kentucky has been known.
I thought Mississippi too has been known for inbreeding, as they call it. I mean,
I'll tell you what. I lived in Kentucky for a long time. My ex was from Kentucky. There is a little mountain up there called Rourke Mountain.
I've heard of it.
No, that's where he's from. I'm going to tell you right now. Are they backwoods? Maybe. We had our family reunions up there. Some of the people were cops, and they would fly in moonshine that they had confiscated through the year, drop it down from a helicopter, and we'd have moonshine during our little get-togethers. But the downside to that, if anybody died up there during the winter, You weren't going to bury them because you can't get down that mountain to bury them in the cemetery in the wintertime.
Mississippi too, also Georgia.
Yeah, and see, I'm not buying shit. I'm just not. Yes, there are those things everywhere. And yes, they are a lot more prominent in secluded areas for obvious reasons. But just because somebody's different and their ways are different. Look, here's a prime example. I had to do, over the last 2 days, 5 interviews for an internship. We have internships within our company, and we have to go through the interview process. I chose interviews way out of my comfort zone. Way out. Y'all know how I talk. I'm as redneck as it gets. I'm as blunt as it gets.
Yep.
I did a professional development internship, which means I would be part of the team teaching corporate the new rules. Another one I did was reporting, which means I would, not just me, but the team would be in charge of reporting every metrics involved, which means after call work, everything, all the metrics to see, do we need 2 people more tomorrow? Do we need, these many people called out? We have this call volume. We have to do those metrics immediate and figure it out. Now, that's not my comfort zone at all whatsoever. Now, I did file for one that's in my comfort zone, which is QA. I can QA calls all day long. I'm good. But in those interviews, I had to act like I was born and raised in New York and in a corporate setting. I was born and raised a doctor's daughter. But I went the opposite way. I'll be damned. I can dress in a business suit. I can speak to an attorney. I can act as an attorney. Cheeseburger in one hand and help a cow give birth in the other. I have no problem with any of it. I'm that versatile. But being able to meld into any situation, that takes talent. So these people, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're melding into their own situation and never get to get out of it, so they don't know anything but their situation. That's not their fault. That doesn't mean they're inbred.
And it's
Probably not really even aware of their situation.
yeah. Well, and
Now, the Whitakers know, but I'm talking about, they talk about people in
general.
Kentucky being inbred.
Well, and it's, believe it or not, because everyone thinks of like those southern states, like again, like Tennessee, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Carolinas, or even in some varying degree, Louisiana, even, about inbred. That's not only just restricted.
That's Bayou.
Well, I was going to say that's not supposedly just restricted here in the States. Like there's also other countries that have that belief system, of inbreeding in certain areas. And there actually is a particular spot in Brazil called Candido Godoy, which is in the in the state of Rio Grande do Sul in southern Brazil. And what's notorious about it is not just the beliefs of that same kind of activity, but it's often referred to as the twin capital of the world. There are so many pairs of twins in this area of Brazil. It's right next to the Brazilian-Argentine border, and their twin birth rates are 18 times higher than most other countries. Now, there are some beliefs, but I'm going to get right to it in just a sec.
Twins are genetic.
Yeah, well, one of the beliefs they say is, and I'm sure we all know who this is, that the notorious Nazi doctor, Joseph Mengele, who had fled to South America during World War II when the Allies were closing out Nazi Germany, supposedly they said that's where the birth started happening. Because it is known that Mengele had a strange fascination and conducted terrible experiments on twins. But the other belief system about where the twin birth started happening. They even said that these twin birth rates may have actually occurred even long before Joseph Mengele's arrival.
Yeah.
And they also pointed either to toxic waste or inbreeding. And then this is still something that's still going on today in Candido Godoy, along with two other countries, Igbo Ora in Nigeria and the village of Kodini in India.
So let's think about this.
So once again, it does have that inbreeding like status, like even to the twins.
Right. But let's think about this. Let's analyze this. All of the places that talk about inbreeding are country. The Bayou, Kentucky, it's all country. Okay, we're not talking about Louisville. We're not talking about, but country.
Just the mountains and backwoods.
Right.
In the country, yeah.
Now, these people, the others live in the city, right? So they go to the grocery store, they do this, they do that. That's their everyday life. They meet other people, so they get to breed with other people. When this world goes to shit, and I say when, and you can't get food in the grocery stores.
It already is.
No, I mean when it really does. You can't get food in the grocery stores. You can't get water where you used to get water from the grocery store, your tap. Who are you going to call on? It ain't going to be those damn city folk, I can promise you that. But those of us that have been in the backwoods, we can raise our crops. We know how to purify water. We can hunt as long as the animals out in the world are not tainted.
Yeah.
Which
yeah, Sue, I just
that's
mentioned
going to happen too.
Yeah, Sue, I just mentioned about that town, Igbo Ora in southwest Nigeria. That's another twin capital area.
But I guarantee you, we're going to be calling on them what they call inbreds.
Yeah.
They know how to survive without all this bullshit.
Well, and here's another question. I don't know if this has anything to do with inbreeding in this case, but Adrian, you might have heard of this because this was a family from Kentucky. Although I don't think there are any modern day descendants left, but they lived throughout the area for almost 200. Well, when they first started was over 200 years ago. It's a relatively unusual family too, called the Blue Fugates. Have you ever heard of them before? Or?
I haven't.
So this won't take long for me to read. The Fugates, all commonly known as the Blue Fugates, and you'll see why I'm saying that, or the Blue People of Kentucky, are an ancestral family living in the hills of Kentucky starting in the 19th century, where they are known to having a genetic trait that led to the blood disorder methemoglypnia, if I'm saying that right, which caused their skin literally to be blue. Now, how it all started, again, this is not going to be long. Martin Fugate and Elizabeth Smith, which it doesn't sound like inbreeding was involved, but I'll still read it anyway. Martin Fugate and Elizabeth Smith, who had married and settled near Hazard, Kentucky around 1820, were both carriers of the recessive methemoglypnia MET-H gene. As a result, they had 9 children, but 4 of their 9 children exhibited blue skin. Their continued reproduction with the limited local gene pool, along with a lack of transportation infrastructure, ensured that many descendants of the Fugate were born with MET-H. The disorder can cause heart abnormalities and seizures if the amount of methemoglobin in the blood exceeds 20%, but at levels between 10 and 20%, it can cause blue skin without other symptoms. Now, most of the Fugates lived long and healthy lives. The bluest of the Blue Fugates, Luna Stacy, get this, had 13 children and lived to the age of 77. Now, okay, so maybe I should take back what I said. Descendants with the gene continued to live near Troublesome Creek and Ball Creek into the 20th century. They eventually came to the attention of the hermatologist Madison Kewin Ill, who, with the assistance of the nurse Ruth Pendergrass, made a detailed study of their condition and ancestry. Based on a report published in the journal, based on the report published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation in 1960 by a public health physician named E.M. Scott, who had studied a similar phenomenon among Native Alaskans, Cowan concluded that a deficiency of the enzyme diaphrose results in an oxygen deficiency in the red blood cells, causing. So this is also another reason why the blood was turning. This is another effect as a result of having blue skin. It also caused the blood to appear brown, which in turn made the skin of those affected appear blue. He treated the family with methylene blue, which eased their symptoms and reduced the blue coloring of their skin. His findings were published in the Archives of Internal Medicine in 1964. Now, although there are actually still descendants today, Benjamin Stacy, born in 1975, was the last known descendant of the Fugates to have been born exhibiting the characteristic blue color of the disorder, though he quickly lost his blue skin tone, exhibiting only blue tinges on his lips and fingertips when he became cold or agitated. But
That just sounds like they had a lack of blood flow,
it may have been,
lack of oxygen.
It may have been, but this was kind of another one of those families that, regardless of their condition, was pretty much kind of like in a similar way with the Whitakers. They mainly kept to themselves because of their disorder. They weren't an inbred family, but they were still, they were different. They had blue skin. And I knew I knew Chris was going to say something about that. Chris said they were Smurfs, but no. With all jokes aside, that was a condition.
Might have been part of that.
Yeah, that was a condition they had to live with. Yeah, there was the blue man on the Oprah Winfrey show. Yeah, there was that guy. He was the difference for him. He was taking I don't remember what he was consuming, something that caused his skin to turn blue. But that wasn't the case with the Fugates, though. That was from a different disorder that they had that caused their skin, because it wasn't just their skin that turned blue; their blood even turned brown.
Well, yeah, I'm following these guys, and unless proven differently, I'm going to say these guys are doing an amazing job helping these people, because in our society these days, we have this really cautious attitude where we assume the worst before we assume the best out of somebody.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that jaded. I want to be cautious, but I don't want to be that jaded. I don't have a stake in this. Like I haven't given millions to this or my reputation's not on the line, whatever. So I'm going to assume the best on these guys and hope I'm right. The worst that's going to happen is I stood up for them and I was wrong. But,
yes.
If they're doing a good job, more power to them, and I will help any way I can.
Yeah, Sue, you're right. Yeah, it was Silver that he was the guy that Braxton brought up. Yeah, Sue, that was the guy that Braxton brought up. That's what caused his skin. Yeah, he was consuming silver, and that caused his skin to turn blue. But
why? Why would no?
I don't remember exactly the reason why he was consuming it, but that caused his skin to turn blue, like literally fully. And as far as the Fugates, I have an actual photo supposedly of the Fugates. Now, obviously, this is a colorized picture, but it does give the blue tint. It kind of gives the idea of which family members supposedly had the blue skin.
Yeah. I wish those are recolored photos, which are
they are
different, but I'd like to know what caused that scientifically, honestly.
Yeah, this was so I don't know exactly where Hazard was. So that was in
right up in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, right up in eastern Kentucky. So not anywhere near Louisville or anything like that. Probably
it was near Rourke Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still very interesting though to know about, because it was only recently that I heard it. Whoops. It was only recently that I heard about the Fugates before. I knew about the Whitaker family for years, but I never knew anything about the Fugates till recently.
I'm the opposite. I just heard of the Fugates, but and I guess the Whitakers I just heard about maybe a year ago. But I didn't really pay attention until people I knew were actually involved.
Yeah.
Colloidal silver
Colloidal silver
supplements. Okay.
supplements. Yeah, because Braxton also says before that would have been cool if he left that recipe behind for medical or scientific purposes. But yeah, that's been proven in some way that if you take a lot of that silver, it will cause your skin to be blue. It's not necessarily like once you get the blue tone, I mean, unfortunately, that's something you're going to be stuck with for the rest of your life. You can't just simply get rid of it. Although, as long as you didn't like consume too much silver, I don't think it's meant to be like life threatening, at least as far as I know. And I don't know how much silver he consumed. But obviously, once again, he basically had to live the life as a blue person for the rest of his life because he died a number
Colloidal
of years ago.
silver is completely different than silver.
See, I don't know the difference between different types of silvers.
I'm going to have to dive into that rabbit hole now.
But the difference is that we know in that guy's case that he was consuming silver that caused him to become blue. For the Fugates, on the other hand, though, it sounded like it was a gene related issue because, like I said, not all the family's members were like this. Several family generations did have a few members of the family that were born with blue skin.
See, that's the thing that doesn't sit right with me. If this guy took stuff and it caused his skin to become blue, that should not be hereditary.
Let me see if there's anything on because I thought.
Okay. It is hereditary to a point. It says the blue skin was caused by a recessive genetic condition called methemoglobinemia. So it's like a little bit
That's
different,
the one I was trying to come up with for the Fugates. Yeah.
which resulted from a diaphorase enzyme deficiency. So it's like anemia, but it's deficient of a different antibody.
Now it's curious that is there anybody in the world today that has blue skin?
There might be, like I said, the guy that I was telling, the last living descendant of the Fugates, he was born with it, but he was the last one, but he doesn't have much of that trait anymore. It's only when he gets cold and agitated, and even when he does get blue skin, it only occurs around his lips and fingertips. So it
So
doesn't.
this
It's not like
deficiency prevents the body from converting methemoglobin, a non-oxygen carrying form of hemoglobin, into functional oxygen carrying hemoglobin. So, like I said, they're not getting oxygen in their blood like they should,
and that's the
leading
reason.
to a buildup of blue tinted methemoglobin in the blood. The disorder was passed down through generations due to intermarriage
Oh, wow.
within the isolated community with the French settler Martin Fugate and his wife Elizabeth Smith
Yeah,
being the original carriers of meth H gene.
that's correct.
So it was like anemia, but the opposite.
Well, and
Anemia,
also,
your blood's too thin.
well, and that explains the reason then why not only did their, like I said, not only did their skin turn blue, but their blood also became brown instead of red.
Their blood wasn't brown.
Well, they said it was on what I read.
Yeah, what it is they don't have enough red blood cells. Blood only turns red when exposed to oxygen.
Yeah.
They weren't getting enough oxygen into their blood. So it was more that blue tint that we see in our veins before it's exposed to oxygen.
Yeah. And that explains too then in a way like why our veins are blue.
Hmm.
You know, and
Exactly.
it's almost like it passes that color from the veins to the rest of the skin, and that's what causes, in a way, kind of that blue color.
Right. So, depending on what skin color you have, like we can see the blue in our veins very well, right?
Yeah.
And that oxygen actually shows the white in our skin. It makes the pigment in our skin, which our pigment is lack of. But any pigment that's in your skin is going to make it show whatever it is. With this blue, you have no pigment. It is blue.
Well, and
There was a guy who did have blue skin, but he passed away 12 years ago. His name is Paul Carrison.
That's correct. Yes.
I remember seeing him on Oprah.
He was on Oprah, and he lived his entire, he was born in California but died in Washington, and he wasn't even that old when he died. He was only
Right.
62 years old.
Yeah, Bryson, I'm sure you can. Yeah.
No,
And
well,
but that's what carries the oxygen to show the rest of your pigment. That guy had nothing. Like, lack of oxygen causes blue.
well, and here's what it says here about this is the case with what caused Paul Carrison to have blue skin. I mean, it says he was fair skinned and freckled until the early 1990s. His skin turned blue after he began taking a homemade colloidal silver treatment and rubbing a silver preparation on his skin in an attempt to treat problems with his sinuses, dermatitis, acid reflux, and other issues. This caused him to develop what's called argyria. That's one of the causes of blue skin. And in 2008, Carrison first gained prominence after appearing on Today. He claimed that it did cure his acid reflux and arthritis, but acknowledged that it was also the cause of his argyria. Now, he moved, I guess he lived throughout the Pacific Northwest for his entire life. He moved from Oregon to the California Central Valley community, Madeira, in the summer of 2007, seeking greater community acceptance. He described himself as somewhat of a recluse. By 2012, Carrison lost his home while experiencing a heart condition and prostate cancer. He later moved to a homeless shelter in Bellingham, Washington. And then, as like you just said, Jeremy, that sadly the following year in 2013 he died, but it was actually a result of a heart attack led to pneumonia and a severe stroke. In addition to the silver that he was taking, he was also a heavy smoker and underwent a triple bypass surgery in 2008. He was estranged from his wife at the time of his death. Now, Carrison, believe it or not, continued to use colloidal silver until his death.
Let's think about this. Let's analyze this part too. Okay, he said it cured acid reflux and whatever else. Okay, let's think about this. So you smash your finger, right? It hurts for a minute. It might cause a blood blister, right?
Yeah.
So you smash your finger. All of a sudden, and you're familiar with this, Nick, you get a migraine.
Yes.
You can forget your finger because you ain't going to feel that shit at that point because
No,
that
you're
migraine, it takes over.
Yep.
He probably didn't cure that shit. He just forgot all about it because he had 1,000 other ailments at that point.
It's like what Sue just said, cure some conditions while causing others.
Right, which are more prominent, and you're going, oh my, I forgot all about this one because now this shit hurts. Y'all, do you realize we've went 30 minutes over?
Yes. But it has not, I have to admit, though, this has been really fascinating to talk with. I have to admit that.
I've been up since 5 this morning, and I got to get up again.
Oh my God! Yeah, you got to
Good
get
night.
to sleep, Jeremy. Let's end this.
Yeah, because I've been on the road all day yesterday. I was on the road all day Monday.
I don't do well on the road and then functioning. No.
I got to get back on the road tomorrow.
Oh boy!
No, I'm good. Nope. You have fun with that while I go play with furry little puppies.
Oh, you guys, and also just as a reminder, I just want to say real quick just before we go. I know you guys know this already, but Nick Files is going to be back next week for the 125th anniversary of the Galveston Hurricane. Which, Adrian, I actually was hoping if you would want to come on since you've been to Galveston yourself. If you guys want to join, the link's going to be open for you guys.
What time is it going to be?
It is fourth. It will be Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
So 6:30 my time?
Yeah.
No,
Can do. What?
you said 4:30 Central. That's 3:30 her time.
Oh, that's 3:30 her time though.
Oh shit! No, I'll be at
Oh,
work.
damn! You're going to be working. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
I'm thinking you're 2 hours ahead of me, and
Yeah, I know.
One who's 2 hours ahead
so I
of
was going on his time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be making a brief comeback next week. It'll be good doing. And this time, like I said, I'm making it an actual commemoration event more than just a typical slideshow. I know I do it every year, but because this is the 125th anniversary of it, this is quite important. And I got a feeling that Galveston is probably going to be doing an actual commemoration event. And knowing that obviously me and everyone else can't make it to Galveston, that's why I'm basically doing my own commemoration for this.
I'm gonna see if I can't reach out to the guy who does the. I know the guy who does the haunted tours there.
Oh,
And I'm
really?
gonna
Okay.
see if they're doing anything.
Well, and a lot of what I will just say real quick, a lot of the information that I share about Galveston, I mean, truth be told, this is one of the few slideshows where I actually gathered a lot of the information from like 2 different documentaries on Galveston because for 2 reasons. One, I doubt mostly everyone's actually going to watch the documentary, so why not bring that information to them?
Right.
But also, more importantly, they just tell it so well that there's just no other way to really describe it, like how the interviews, narration goes. But I do, in some way, shape, or form, try to make it my own work, like try to change things up. Of course, I go through Wikipedia, I go to a few other websites to grab a few other things. So it's not like a full copycat of the documentaries and stuff. There is
Right.
additional
No.
because I do want to add some originality to it. Yes, that's right, Braxton, Galveston, Texas. Okay,
It is
he's been there.
that was my vacation spot as a child, and I went back a few years ago, and I was like, that's not what I remember. But yeah, it is still beautiful. It is.
Yeah, and it's still protected even after 125 years with the seawall they have.
Yeah, we'll go with that being protected.
Well, it does. Okay, I'll refrain it. It does have some protection. It's not fully protected because there have been other hurricanes, but it at least has protected because that seawall that has protected the old portion of Galveston from every hurricane that's ever hit, including the one that recently hit last year. So, but it's still a nice area overall, but very haunted area too.
Yeah, see, I wasn't I wasn't as developed as I am now when I went, so I wouldn't know. The guy jump scared the shit out of me. That's what I know. That's what I remember. But
it's fun to jump scare people.
Yeah, I think I know that from firsthand, and so do you, Jeremy.
yeah,
Not when we're doing the jump scare.
Oh God.
all right, y'all, let's let Jeremy get to bed because
Yeah.
if he has a wreck out on the road tomorrow, we're gonna hurt somebody.
Yeah, and Braxton, I just want to say because I know he's
gotta
been
go to 2 different cities tomorrow.
Braxton, since you've been watching a lot of these shows, I'll just let you know quickly if you want to check the show out. Like I said, it's my show, Nick Files. It'll be next Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. CST, so you can check it out. No, it's not Galveston, Kentucky, Indiana, or Virginia. It's Kentucky. Excuse me, Galveston.
I didn't
Texas.
know there was.
I didn't even know there was either. I just only knew about Galveston, Texas. I didn't know there was also a Galveston for Kentucky, Indiana, and Virginia.
I didn't either.
I didn't.
Yep, you learn something new every day. But
All over Indiana. I did not know about that.
I just know about the Texas one, which that was said to be destined to be the New York City of the Gulf Coast prior to the hurricane.
A friend of mine lives in the Alamo. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
we're done.
Yep.
We're done. No,
We're done.
silence. We're done.
No, I'm agreeing. I'm saying we're done. We're done.
All right.
Yeah.
So I will have one thing. Stay tuned for tomorrow night. 13th Dimension will be back on. I will have Don on again, and we're going to try to finish the conversation that we were having last week.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll pick up.
Yeah, hopefully he won't have any issues like you did. If we get 1 hour and no issues, I'll cut it right then and there so we don't have any.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Have a good night. Have a good and safe weekend. Thank you for playing along, and we will see you guys next week.
Good night, everyone.